statement at a later stage.
Yes.
When was that?
Okay,
I can't remember.
That annexure is done
sorry, guys.
January this year.
That is correct, my lord.
So when Ms. Manu say something, Lori?
Ba botsisa ka mo ke etileng date ko teng na.
And are being asked now about the way I ended paid.
Where you corrected your first statement.
You were more about the statement or something.
Ba tlile ko sekolong e se khale ke etse statement sa ka sa mathomo.
They came to the school not long after I made my first statement.
I had the opportunity of going through that statement or annexure, and I put it to you, that was only made in January this year.
Ke batla go bolela gore le correction statements is false. Ke bona gore tlhoka le go tsa go bankanya se di ka January ya re.
Do you have any comment?
Go na le selo se go tla go se go.
Go na le tsatsi le lengwe fana o kile a tla ko sekolong kwala a tlo lokisa taba ya date a re date ele ke bile mole ne ile Monday.
There's a day that Fana came there to the school and said that the day that is there, it's a Monday.
Ebe a botsisa le Kelly wa ko sekolong gore date ya nnete ke Mantaga or Labedi na.
And even asked Kenny at the school the day that is it the day from Monday or the Tuesday.
Yes, but that was on the 26th of January this year.
We should significantly put the 6th of January here.
Am I right?
Okay, next tlhole ke bereka ka January next tlhole ke volunteer ko sekolong na kwela atla ne ke volunteer ko sekolong.
The time when the person came to the school, I was still volunteering at the school, but January this year I was no longer volunteering at the school.
So what's recorded on the statement, the date is incorrect.
Yeah, the mobile was in the camp, the statement VPA, Haseo. We really are statements for supervision, carrying 26 January 2025, Yana Kabana. I can never be over either for Canada, Taxi, Barana, even the province of the statements and when I have a Camuena, over and over the Camera Matas. Then really are any Ula Granchu or other statements is a car, over a statements is the commission and carrying 26 January.
Ka January ba tlile go nna ba re ba lokisitse statement sa ka ke sign.
In January, they came to me and said that they have corrected or my statement has been amended and I just signed.
Are you telling me you don't know the content of that statement?
I don't know who not. So this is going to statement is because
Ke a se itse ke sene ba tlo se lokisa ba tlo lokisa ka taba ya date.
I am aware when I wrote the statement, they came this way to correct or to amend the date.
And you signed it in January 2025.
Or last time I got January 2025. Yes?
So you made the statement in January 2025.
Yeah, we do statement is saying that January 2025.
Any answer?
No?
Okay. Is it because you cannot remember, ma'am, or are you not being truthful to the court that you don't know about the statement January 2020?
ke gore ga o gopole kgotsa wena ga o bone nnete mo kgotla.
ka January ba tlile ba tlo mpotsa gore ba lokisitse statement ka matho ba nkere ke setsitse
At first, I made the statement, right? And when they came to me in January, they came and said that the statement has been corrected.
ba re ke se check-e ke sign
And they said that I must go through it or produce the statement and I must sign.
Yes.
And
ka tseya pampiri ka sign
I took the paper and I signed.
And by doing that, what did you understand you were doing?
And when I'm so going to
ne ke ithao gore ba lokisa date e lokisa nako e ke beya statement ne ke beile yona e wrong
And my thinking was that they were correcting the date that I placed the picture was wrong.
Yeah, but how were you doing that? You were making a statement. That's what you were doing.
Or you lay out so who listed that?
ee
Yes.
So you agree with me you made that in January 2025?
Well, when I statement say was the January.
aowa
No.
Ma'am, I
Mr.
preach.
Signer, and you made your point.
Thank you, my lord.
You can argue
Yes, my
about
lord.
the semantics at another day.
Ma'am, I preach you not being truthful to this court.
Ke batla go bolela ka gore nna ga o bone nnete pela ka batho.
Any comment?
A go na le selo se batlang go se bua.
ke bua nnete
I'm telling the truth.
The reason why I say so is because you were able to recall things a year ago and make corrections 6 months later, yet you can't recall a statement you made 2 months ago.
So se ke bua le wena gore wena ga o bone nnete ke gore so se se diragetseng ya ra se and ka mora se 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 dira statement ke sa go ba ka se se mme selo se se diragetseng ke tse so se
Just before the witness answers. That was not the evidence, that she can't recall the statement that she signed. It was about whether signing this paper is making a statement or not. I'm not going to allow the statement to the witness like that.
As court, please. Ma'am, you say that one of the people who were there was a female.
gore o mongwe wa batho ba ba nagana ke mosetsana.
ee
Yes.
And later on, at some point, you saw the same female on television.
Go tsamaya ga nako ka ga o bona mongwe e le motho o wa mosetsana o bona mo thelebišeneng.
ee
Yes.
Did you eventually learn her name?
O go tsamaya ga nako o laletse leina la gagwe.
aowa
No.
Okay. Did you see her any time after that day or after you saw on the television?
La mmona ka mora letsatsi leo mo go bona mo thelebišeneng.
aowa
No.
And you're 100% certain that the person who was there at accused number 3's house is one of the persons you saw on television?
O tlisitse gore ke mongwe wa batho ba ba bone ko ntlong ya ga molatefatsi wa o wa ke o mongwe wa batho ba ba bone ko TV.
ee
Yes.
And that was, she was seated with 2 other males when you were passing between 7 and 8, or the time that you were passing.
O na ntse ke batho ba bobedi ba banna ka nako wena mo o fetang.
ee
Yes.
My Lord, may I approach you?
Certainly.
Thank you, my lord. I've consulted just one more aspect. Ma'am, this female that you saw on that day, did she have long hair or short hair?
mokhutswane.
Short hair.
Thank you, my lord. I have nothing further.
Thank you. Any re-examination? Yes, Mkabai?
My apologies, my lord. When I was
Yes.
cross-examined,
They just set the microphone on for you.
my apologies, my lord. When I was cross-examining the witness, I didn't put to her my client's instructions.
Yes, you may.
Thank you. Ms. Chosa, my client instructs me that you do not know him.
A re itsane personally ee.
We don't know each other personally, yes?
And that he does not know you.
Le nna ke mmitse le la mathomo ke mmona nako ya ntse mo nna ntse mo teng.
I don't know him as well because the first time seeing him when he was sitting.
And lastly, he was not at the place where you said you saw him.
And someone had a see your moon or
Nna ke mmone gona moo ke reng ke mmone teng.
I saw him where he was.
No further questions, my lord.
Thank you, Mr. Mkabai. Ms. Swanepoel, any re-examination?
Thank you, my lord.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. You may be excused. You may call the next witness. Are we going to swap?
Yes, indeed, my lord.
Because the witness will be testifying in Afrikaans and then the interpretation will be into the English.
I call Laurentia Lombard back to the witness stand.
I think we need to swear in the witness again, afresh.
As the court pleases.
Please give your full names to the court.
Gee die hof die volle naam van
Laurentia Lombard.
Lorenzo Lombard Malloy.
Do you have any objection to taking the prescribed oath?
Die het enig beswaar teen die aflegging voorgeskrewe eed.
Yes, my lord.
No, my lord.
Do you swear that the evidence you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Sweer enige rede wat hier gevoel op gaan af sal die waarheid wees.
Dit sal die
Net die waarheid wees, dis ander die waarheid.
Al die waarheid. Please raise your right hand
Lig jy rechterhand op.
and say I do so help me God.
Sê so, ek sal so doen, so help my God.
So ja, my God.
Witness is sworn in, my lord.
Thank you. Ms. Lombard, you may be seated.
You can assent.
Let's just test that microphone in front of Ms. Lombard. See that it works. Yes, thank you, Mr. Adamson. Thank you.
My lord.
Lord, can I just establish something quickly? It's just housekeeping, just a technical point. I can't remember when was the last time that we finished evidence in chief. Was it Friday?
Yesterday morning.
Monday morning. No.
My note says it was day 11, so day 11 was yesterday.
Yes, thank you. I just didn't want to get that wrong.
And
Thank
I
you.
still have some notes of those.
Thank you, my lord. Ms. Lombard, I just want to establish something quickly. Your name, Laurentia, is it spelled L-E or L-O?
Die naam word gespel L-E of L-O.
L-O.
L-O, my lord.
And is Lombard with one A or two A's?
Lombard is een A is 2A.
2 R's.
Double A, my lord.
We finished with your, you finished with your evidence in chief on Monday, yesterday morning.
Immediately was the day gister afgehandel. Gistermorgen, gisteroggend.
That's correct, my lord.
Confirmed, my lord.
Towards the end of your evidence, let me start here. You laid evidence about a confession that you had made.
Hier is dat deel van de bekentenis wat die zo gemaakt heeft.
That's correct, my lord.
Dat is zo hier.
And that confession was handed up to this honorable court as Exhibit R.
Jullie bekentenis was ondergaan genomen aan de gister R.
That's correct, my lord.
Lord, I don't know if it might be good to give the interpreter a copy of it, if he needs one.
Not sure that we have a copy from the thing.
They are documents in front of me, my lord, that I can't even make out as to what they are. It's quite 3 or 4 of them.
Is that the document that says confession to the justice of the peace?
This one doesn't do that, it just says Revelation number section 2:4.
That's a different one.
I'm just handed over a copy now.
And what's the purpose of this exercise?
Maybe present one to the witness as well.
Yes, sure.
Ms. Lombard, you look at that document there, and I'm sure it was shown to you on Monday. Your copy is now not marked Exhibit R, but that is Exhibit R, and it starts on the top. Besides that, it says A53A on the right-hand corner. It says Station Saldana is written in there. It's CAS 24/0324. You got that document in front of you.
Het document is voor de aan de linkerkant bovenste staan A, 3 A.
That's correct, my lord.
Daar staat het adresnummer. Conform my lord.
Now you will recall that my learned colleague for the state, referred to Sergeant Johnson that had the interview with yourself?
I know that the Sergeant for the Sergeant Johnson, I made it to
On the 15th of March 2024.
Just a moment. Are you now going to deal with this statement, or are you jumping to another statement?
To deal with the confession, I'm just starting before the evidence is laid about the confession, my lord.
Okay.
Then my learned colleague for the state said to you that the Sergeant Johnson asked you about the options that you have and what you want to choose, and the evidence that you've laid is that you chose to do a confession.
He was to another starter. So some Johnson is seker opties gewees. Maar die besluit die by jou bekendings aflê.
That's correct, my lord.
That's right.
And then you did that confession on the same day, which is the 15th of March 2024.
Hierdie bekendings het in dieselfde dag gedoen, die 15de Maart van die jaar 2024.
That's correct, my lord.
Correct, my lord?
Then my learned colleague for the state put to you or said to you, is it true that everything you said was recorded on video? And you said, yes, that's correct.
Die staatsprokureur het gevra of alles wat hier so oorgedra het in die bekendings wat het as het opgeneem op video-opname en toe sê ja.
That's correct, my lord.
And as I have it, you said you were nervous because you have not spoken in front of people before.
Hier sê hy was nervous geweest want hy het nog nooit tevore aan die moeilikheid van mense gevra nie.
That's correct, my lord.
Then my learned colleague, you answered my learned colleague's question, did you tell her the truth? And you said, ek het.
Hy was gevra dat die staatsprokureur dat hy van alles die waarheid gesê het, hy toe gesê ja.
That's correct, my lord.
You added, but I was bang.
En hy weet gevoel dat hy bang was.
That's correct, my lord.
Then after the interview, the my learned colleague again asked you, after the interview, did you see the confession and saw the contents? And you answered, that's correct, that's correct.
Die staatsprokureur wat gesê het dat na hierdie afneem van die bekendings het hy weer die bekendings gesien en bevestig en daarvan en toe sê ja.
That's correct, my lord.
And the next question to you was, were you happy with the contents? And you said, this is correct.
Hy was ook gevra op vraag was hy gelukkig met die van die bekendings en toe sê ja.
That's correct, my lord.
So you made this confession, confirmed to the peace officer.
Hy het die verklaring gemaak en die bevestig aan die die regter.
That's correct, my lord.
Yes.
That you were familiar with what's written there and you were happy, it is correct and everything that was written down.
Hy was gelukkig met die inhoud hier en bevestig.
That's correct, my lord.
Yes.
Now just, could you read at that stage, did you read the writing part of the peace officer? Did you actually read it or did the peace officer read it back to you?
Die geskrewe deelte van hierdie regter het hy dit uitgelees of het hy dit aan die teruggelees of sê dit aan die teruggelees?
Die persoon wat dit aan my die verklaring gedoen het, het dit agterna vir my dit gelees.
The person who took the statement from me after that read it back to me, my lord.
So when this peace officer was writing, you got some stage in the confession, you got to a point where you were asked a lot of questions. I'm not going to bother you with that. That's another, something for another day. And then at some stage the peace officer asked you to start telling him, or him, I think it is a him, Captain A.M. Salier. Can you remember that name? Sorry, my lord. That is on the first page. I'm not sure either. I will do that. Thank you, Mark.
Because somewhere in the statement, she answers to a question from the interviewer, and she answers, ja, mevrou.
Yeah, okay.
So from that I inferred that the captain here must be a woman. It could be that it was written wrong, but there's an answer somewhere in this document that I saw yesterday that said, ja, mevrou.
Just for the sake of completeness, I'll just check with it. Ms. Lombard, the peace officer who took your statement, that interviewed you and asked you all the questions and you spoke to, was that a woman or a man?
Die vrederegter wat vir u vraag gevra het en van hoe gevoel het, was het 'n manspersoon of 'n dame?
Dit was 'n vroumens geweest.
It was a lady, my lord.
Thank you.
You can see at page 7 of 26, there are 2 references to mevrou, 3 references to mevrou, and at some other place, there's also an answer that says, ja, mevrou. Thank you.
Thank you, my lord. Now, I'm not going to go through the confession that you made. What was
Kan
it?
u deur die bekende wat is gemaak het?
That's correct, my lord.
I just want your comments, your reaction.
Ek wil net die kommentaar hê oor u reaksie.
That's correct, my lord.
How did this take place? The Captain Celia obviously asked you questions which you answered.
Hoe het dit plaasgevind? Moes kaptein se weer vir die vraag wat ons antwoord het?
That's correct.
Yes.
And you understood all the questions that was asked. If you didn't, you would have made a comment and it would have been probably noted, wouldn't it?
Alle vrae wat u aan u gestel het, as van u verstaan.
Dis-
Dit is geval wat is so gevra dat dit aan u verwete moes kom.
That's correct, my lord.
That's right.
Mr. Harmse, can we just clarify this? Because if one looks at the document, it has many parts.
Yes, it's
So part A, and there are no questions on that part, on page 1.
yes, that's just a recording of who is present and who is doing what.
Then, first part on page 2, that's the presentation of the appointment certificate of the captain. So that's not a question.
No.
And then there's the recordal of her personal information.
Yes.
Because I've seen it happen before, that people get confused and the next comeback is, but you told me everything in there were answers to questions. So let's be precise. When you say about questions being asked, does that relate to the first part of the narrative that you gave the captain? Or does it relate to the additional ones that's in a question and answer form? Or does it relate to the completion of the Ronium? Let's be precise about this. And we don't have to repeat evidence, but we can be precise.
I'm just going to, my lord, I'm going to deal with the so-called corrections that were made.
The corrections.
Yeah.
So,
The so-called corrections that were made.
yes.
Thank you, my lord. Ms. Lombard, have a look at page 2. One of the page 2, information is written down there which indicates your surname, Lombard, and it indicates your name, Laurentia, and then I can't make out your second name. And then it indicates your address.
That's correct, my lord. Mijn tweede naam is, mijn eerste naam is Laurentia Genevieve.
Genevieve.
Genevieve, ja, dat is correct.
So, you have confirmed somewhere in this document that you didn't know this peace officer, Captain Celia, and Captain Celia didn't know you. That's correct, that's that?
That's correct, my lord.
So the information there of the personal...
Just a moment. That you did not know the captain.
Yeah, she didn't know. Yeah, I'm putting it to her that she didn't know the captain, and it is stated also that the captain didn't know her.
Yes. Yes, you may proceed.
Thank you. Can I proceed?
Yeah.
Then your name and address is written down there. Can you tell the court, how did that happen? Did the captain ask you what your name is and your address is?
Now, any addresses can be can you know, say,
Dat is correct. Mevrouw heeft mij gevraagd wat is mijn naam en ik heb mijn naam aan haar gegeven.
the lady asked me like my name was, and I gave my name.
And then she also asked you for your address.
Dat is correct, my lord.
And you would have told her what your address is and she would have written it down.
Say this over and say what the addresses, and so say the yesterday.
That's correct, my lord.
And then it also seems that you were asked what your identity number was.
Further than to see, but this over and identity and number was.
That's correct en ik heb het haar gegeven.
That's correct, and I gave it to her.
And if you have a look at page 2, it's in capital letters, date of birth, geboortedatum written there, and then it starts with 9/3. There's a correction that was made, and there's a signature on the left. You see that?
Jullie maken staan wordt de datum eingenomen, als daar 193 daar verwezen wordt gemaakt, is dat weggesteld, maar dat betekent dat je kan niet zien.
Ik kan niet zien.
Geboortedatum,
Page 2.
dat zit twee geboortedatum.
Ja, meneer, ja, mijn lord, ik zie nou. Sorry.
Yes, I can see after I showed the witnesses, you can see that my lord.
And on the left-hand side of that typing and handwritten ID number, there is a signature. Is that your signature?
Op die andere kant van jullie verwezen voor de woord weer eingenomen.
That's correct, my lord.
No,
Because there's an amendment that was made there.
if you look next to the word date of geboortedatum,
Yeah.
there's a signature there.
Geboortedatum en aantekening op die kant.
That's correct, my lord.
Is that your signature or is that the captain's signature?
Als dat die aantekening op die kant,
Als ik kapitein zijn naam.
is de captain's signature my lord.
So that's the captain's signature. can,
Mr. Harmse, may I ask you where you're going with this?
my lord, I am going where I'm getting to. The next question is about the standard 7 and the grade 7.
Oh, now get there.
Yeah,
Why
I'm
do we
getting
have to split hairs about things that are not relevant?
Well, I submit respectfully, it's
Because if you can
significant.
tell me what the relevance is
I'm just saying
about
it's-
a mistake that's made with an ID number, then I'll allow the question.
Yes, my lord, the relevance, I submit respectfully, is that there's a signature there, but the other mistakes that have been rectified by the state with the
No,
evidence, there's nothing.
we'll get
There's
through
nothing.
because you said we're going to page 1, or to page 2 for the mistakes. So let's get there because that was the standard 7 and she says, well, it's actually supposed to be grade 7, don't know.
That's my next question.
Yeah.
Now, that part, when you gave your evidence here on Monday, my learned colleague for the state referred you to, that was what was written there, standard 7. And you were asked if that is right or wrong.
Ik het waar gezegd, maar het moet niet graad 4 wees, het moet graad 8 wees, ik merk je de recht.
I said it not grade 8, but grade 7.
That was not your evidence on Monday.
Sorry my lord, dat is nou mijn fout, sorry, ik heb verkeerd gezegd, het moet graad 4 wees, niet graad 8.
It must be grade 7 or grade 8.
I'm not with you. Can you have a look at that document on page 2 at the bottom, the second part from the bottom up? It says highest qualifications, and what's written there is standard 7.
That's correct, my lord.
Yes, that's correct.
And did you? How come it's there? I put it to you. Then it's the written standard 7 because you told the captain that you had standard 7.
Ik heb verkeerd gezegd, het moet die graad, het moet graad 7 geweest en niet graad 8.
I read it along grade I said it was supposed to be grade 7, not grade 8.
But nobody's talking about grade 8 here.
Niemand praat van graad 8.
What's written down is standard 7.
Standaard 7.
So standard 7 is that grade 9.
Standaard 7 is al graad 9 geweest.
That's correct, my lord.
I finished school in the 70s. So we didn't have grades then. So what did you tell the captain?
Maar dit is die kapitein vertel.
Ik heb voor de kapitein gezegd, het is graad. Ik kreeg al weten met standaard geweest.
I said to the captain grade, I didn't know I was supposed to say standard.
Okay, so thank you, my lord.
But did I hear correctly earlier on that this whole process was videotaped?
The state indicated that on Monday that they have a video of this.
See,
But
because
it has not been presented
if one
yet.
looks at where the content part starts, on page, let me go there. It says there was a captain, a constable George, I think, was there.
There's a mentor as well.
Mentor was the video
Yes,
operator.
yes.
And then when one gets to the contents, at some stage, they had to change the battery. It's recorded in this written statement.
Yeah.
But if all of this is on video, why don't you just hand in the video?
I'm not
Or
in possession of the video.
I know it was discovered because there was a big debate on
sorry,
pre-trial
yeah.
about that.
Yes, I'm mistaken.
So the defense has it.
I do have the video, yes.
So don't tell me you don't have it. You have it. Because we've dealt with that at pre-trial. But if the video, if it's going to be contentious, this statement of the witness, why don't you just present the video to me? Instead of us nitpicking about things that might not even be relevant.
Yes, my lord.
Because you and I might know, Mr. Armse, with no reference to our age, that you might also make mistakes about grades and standards.
Yes, my lord.
Because I've indicated I finished high school in the 70s.
Yes, my lord.
So let us get to the meat of what this case is about,
Yes.
and not what the case is not about.
Yes. What your lordship is.
But if there's a video that was taken and the authenticity is not an issue, and clearly if there are trials within trials, we'll deal with it differently. But this is not that situation. Then we can clarify that. Because then you can continue, get back to the confession. You're not going to finish before lunch.
No, I know.
Then I can watch the video over lunchtime.
Yes.
Is it on a stick?
May I just mention, my lord, all our docket contents that was provided from the state is electronically. So I have a video on my laptop.
No,
I
but-
cannot share it or hand it up.
No, but if it's electronically available, then, and if we need to cut or put it on a stick as an exhibit 1 or whatever, we can do that.
Yeah.
But for the purpose of the evidence flowing,
Yeah.
then if the parties are in agreement, we can proceed with the cross-examination. I'll have a look at it over lunchtime.
Yeah.
And then we can get back to the confession.
Yes.
Because it will save us a lot of time. It will create clarity. But I will also know where I need to clarify something when questions are being asked. Now they're going to tell me it's on a CD.
I'm in agreement with your lordship, because I may just then conclude and say all the amendments that was given.
Yeah.
The main question is, how did that come about?
Because then we can
If it
clarify.
can be explained, but as your lordship.
If that will assist Mr. Harmse, then
Yeah.
we can do it that way.
Yeah.
I suspect that my laptop does not have a CD drive.
None of us, none of it, my lord.
My laptop is from the same era as myself, your lordship. It has the CD player.
No, I normally carry a portable CD drive with me, but I didn't bring it along. Let me just hear from my registrar. Now we'll make a plan. If you can share if you have it electronically, one of you can in the meantime share it with my registrar, an electronic form.
It's being done. my lord.
Then what we'll do is we will then upload that, and if there are any other electronic issues going forward, we'll upload the videos on the same platform that we're sharing information with council on the daily recordings and so forth.
Yes, yes, my lord.
And that might assist you. Good.
I just then want to place on record, and obviously from the viewing the video, then it certainly will curtail my cross-examining
Yeah.
her as far as this is, as to why something was written.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
No, I understand that.
Yeah.
But thank you for
And-
your cooperation, Mr.
Yes.
Adamson.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My Lord, then it is my intention then at the end of that, I will have to view that as well, I'm going to ask that the Captain Solier be called to give evidence depending if I decided it's necessary or there's some contention issues.
But this is not a trial within a trial.
No,
So if
no.
Captain Solier doesn't get called by the state in the main case,
Yeah.
then and Captain Solier is made available to you, then it's up to you to call the witness.
Yeah. Yes.
And if neither you or the state call the witness, and I'm of the view that it's necessary, I can call that witness. But it's
Indeed.
early days. We're not there yet.
Indeed, my Lord.
But if they don't call the witness and you want to call the witness, feel free.
yeah.
They can make the witness available to you. Unless, of course, it's the same witness that might also feature in the trial within trials. We don't know. I don't know. All right.
Thank you, my Lord. I'll move on then. Ms. Lombard, I'm now going to go to your oral evidence, your evidence in chief that you gave on a bit on Thursday, Friday, and a bit on Monday.
That's correct, my Lord.
You gave evidence, and I would say at this stage already it's common cause, that your boyfriend, where you lived, his name is Ayanda.
That's correct, my Lord.
Confirms, my Lord.
That's how I heard the evidence the other day.
Kan u voor u ons helpen met steeds van zo'n gestel wordt?
Kan ik het Afrikaans zeggen, my Lord?
Ja.
As A,
Nou zijn naam weet ik is Ayanda.
Ayanda Stefan.
That will be A-Y-A-N-D-A.
Litoni. Litoni.
Litoni.
Tony.
That's correct, my Lord.
You-
As Ayanda Litoni.
Weet jy hoe om het te spel?
Nou, spell it out.
As L-O. As L-O-N-T-N-E-O. E.
Tony. L-O-N-T-O-N-I.
Ons noem het Litoni, maar hulle noem het in 'n ander soort.
We pronounce it in Tony, but they
As-
pronounce it differently, my Lord.
As L-E.
L-E-T-O-N-I.
T-O-N-E.
Lentoni.
Tony. Tony.
Thank you, my Lord.
So now we have it.
Thank you, Ms.
I
Lombard.
don't think I saw it on the witness. Saw his name on the witness list. Yes, you may.
Thank you, my Lord. Do you know his age? Are you sure of his age? Has
Weet
he-
u wat sy ouderdom is? Is hy seker van sy ouderdom?
Ek is nog nie seker van sy ouderdom nie.
I'm not sure about his age.
Okay. And you met him, your evidence led you met him here in Saldanha when you moved here.
Volgens de getuigenis het u hom ontmoet hier in Saldanha toe u jullie getrek.
That's correct, my Lord.
Correct, my Lord?
Can you tell the court at this time, and I'll go back as well, but at this point in time, March 2025, is Ayanda still in the area in Saldanha?
Kan u verhof sê hierdie tyd, maar jaar 2025, is Ayanda nog in die area van Saldanha?
Nee, my Lord.
No.
And do you know when he moved away?
Weet u wanneer hy toe weg getrek het?
As ek mag vra, my Lord, is dit nodig dat ek kan mag sê wat ek aan hy is?
That's not the question.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
question was, do you know when he moved away?
Weet u wanneer hy weg is?
You don't have to be concerned about that. I was waiting for that question to potentially ask because I would then first clear up things.
Okay.
But now I know you have a concern.
Okay, my lord.
The only question is, do you know when he moved away?
Weet u wanneer hy weg is?
Soos ek kan onthou, as dit was, ek weet nou nie die presiese wat die dag, die datum nie, maar ek weet dit was in Maart maand gewees, laas jaar.
I'm not sure about the date, my lord, but it was in March last year.
And March last year means March 2024.
For
So, and just for sake of completeness, did you remain in that house that you were staying in, with him?
Toe hy toe weg is, het ek nie bly en hy wat nie toe gebly het.
nee, my lord.
No, my lord.
Can I just maybe get a timeline?
Yeah.
We know that you were in custody on the 15th of March of last year.
Dis dat die hele saak dat een aan haar egnis was in Maart van die verlede jaar.
That's correct, my lord.
And how I know that is because I look at the date on the confession.
Dit weer die hof aangesien hof gekyk het op die datum van die bekentenis.
So when were you arrested?
Wanneer was die arresteer?
Soos ek kan onthou, dit was hy Woensdag gewees, ek weet nie wat die datum nie, maar ek weet dit was 'n Woensdag wat kaptein Lombard vir my kom haal het.
I don't remember the date, my lord, but I remember it was a Wednesday when Captain Lombard came to fetch me.
Can you remember how long? We know there was a Wednesday the 6th. The next Wednesday would have been the 13th. That means this confession was taken on the Friday, the 15th.
Gemene saak dat die eerste Woensdag sou wees die 6de, tweede sou wees die 13de, dis so u bekentenis geneem het die 15de die Vrydag.
That's correct, my lord.
So if you work your way back from the confession, was it that Wednesday just before the Friday, or was it the previous Wednesday?
As ons nou terugwerk, is dit die Woensdag voor die Vrydag of die vorige Woensdag?
Dit was nog ik weet nog niet onzeker, ik is nog onzeker, ik weet nog niet wat die vorige als vrijdag of woensdag geweest of het die next week zou woensdag geweest het.
But when you were arrested, was Ayanda still here?
Toen u gearresteerd was, is Ayanda nog niet zo.
Ayanda was niet een Saldanabay geweest.
Toen was hij al weg.
Hij was nog in Saldanabay.
He had left already.
Was hij al weggehaald.
That's correct, my lord.
So we at least know he would have left either before the 6th or before the 13th of March.
Thank you, my lord. Thank you.
Yes, I'm with you. I'm with you.
Now, the evidence leads that the police went to your Nayanda's house or shortly on that day or the next day, I can't recall now, after the missing person, when Joshlin was now reported missing, the police came to your house. You remember that?
Getuienis is voor de hof afgeleid dat de politie is naar u en Ayanda sy huis Ordelijk nadat Joshlin toen gerapporteerd werd dat hij vermist is, kan jullie geloven?
That's correct, my lord.
And Ayanda was there that day.
En Ayanda was bij deze geweest.
That's correct, my lord.
Now, can you recall what was Ayanda's reaction when the police came there? Did he speak to you, Mike? Did he look, sound, or express any annoyance or irritation or anger about the police coming there?
Kan u voor opzij wat Ayanda's reactie was? Het enige ongenoegen daarover gepraat, dat u ongelukkig was dat de politie naar zijn toe gekomen?
Hij was ongelukkig geweest, hoekom ek so sê, omdat hy het vir Kelly gevra, hoekom bring hulle die polisie na ons huis toe?
He was unhappy, my lord, because listen to me saying that. He asked Kelly as to why he bring the police to my house.
You can't give any, or can you give any comment or say anything about why you would have been annoyed or cross?
Ik kan niet zeggen waarom hij kwaad of ongelukkig was. Ik kan niet commentaar wat ik wil geven.
Hy was, soos ek gesien, hy was kwaad vir Kelly omdat die polisie haar gekom het by ons huis.
From what I could see, my lord, he was angry and upset with Kelly because of Kelly bringing the police to the house.
But you can't tell the court, you had no idea why he was annoyed because the police came there.
He was hier waarom hij ongelukkig kwaad was. Toen hij zelfs niet aankondigde.
Soos ek sê, toes die polisie kom saam met Kelly, dis die rede hoekom hy vir Kelly gevra het, hoekom bring Kelly die polisie na ons huis toe.
The reason for me giving that, my lord, is that because he asked Kelly as to why he bring the police to my house.
En toe het Kelly gevra vir Ayanda, waar is Reen? Toe het Ayanda gesê, hier is Reen, sy binnekant in die huis in.
That's when Kelly asked from Ayanda where Rent was. And then Ayanda said the Rent is inside the house.
En ek kom toe uit,
That's when I came out.
en ek sê toe vir Kelly, hoekom sê hulle vir die... Okay, sorry my lord.
We're not going to repeat the evidence constantly.
Ons gaan nie die betekenis elke keer nie.
Ms. Lombard,
Thank you, my lord.
just listen to the question
Jy moet net luister na die vraag van Lombard.
and only answer the
Okay, my
question.
lord.
Jy moet net antwoord wat die vraag is, mevrou.
That's correct, my lord.
Please.
Okay.
Thank you, my lord.
Thank you, Mr. Haramson.
We heard the evidence about you having said, you gave that evidence having said
No,
that
that
you
same
spoke to the
portion
police.
was given a couple of times. already.
Yes, another time, yes. What I want to also know from you, Ms. Lombard, is have you seen or were you aware of interaction between Ayanda and Joshlin? In other words, what I'm trying to ask you, did Ayanda and Joshlin know each other? Were they familiar with each other?
Wat ek van die verneem is dat Joshlin en Ayanda mekaar geken, dat er enige interaksie tussen Joshlin en Ayanda.
Nee, my lord. Ayanda het geweet dat is Kelly se kind.
Ayanda knew it was Kelly's daughter, child.
I understand that, but in your evidence from time to time it emerged that you said that Joshlin went with you to your house. That's where Ayanda lives.
Maar wie het gesê so toe nou en dan het hy gesê Joshlin was nie na die huis toe, dat waar Ayanda moes benagtig is.
That's correct, en dis hoe Ayanda vir Joshlin leer ken het.
That's correct. That's how Ayanda learned to know Joshlin, my lord.
So Joshlin and Ayanda got to know each other from sea there and visiting.
En van gesiente waar was ook gekuier.
That's correct, my lord.
That's correct.
It is, I don't even know, I have to ask you this question, but I'm just going to confirm it. The Ayanda car wash, that when he left, obviously the car wash was gone as well. Nobody else took it over.
Twee weg is, Ayanda weg is, as aan die einde van die kawas, of wie dit word geneem.
Soos ek verstaan dat Ayanda net so die kawas net so los en ek kan nie sê of waar iemand na die kawas kyk nie.
From what I understood, my lord, Ayanda left the kawas as is. I don't remember know of anyone taking over the kawas.
In your evidence also, you referred to initially that Ayanda was selling drugs from his house where you were living. Is that correct? Do you remember that?
Gedurende die tyd het hy gesê Ayanda wel ons van sy self op dan is dit nou.
That's correct, my lord.
That's right.
And as I understood your evidence, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, but as I understood your evidence, that was the situation when you first started living with Ayanda, when you moved in with Ayanda in the beginning.
Dit was geleentheid toe die mense gaan leer, maar dit ook nog gaan leer van die instansie.
That's correct, my lord.
And then your evidence further on said that he stopped selling drugs from his house. Is that correct?
Hy het verder gesê ophou om ons van sy te verkoop.
That's correct, my lord.
Can you tell the court more or less when did he stop? Can you tell the court? Did you know or do you know?
Kan die verloop sê min of meer wanneer hy ophou het? Weet jy
Ik kan niet specifiek sê wat die datum van die dag wat hy begin stop het, maar ek weet hy het gestop. Want ek het vir hom gesê hy moet los die verkope van die drugs.
I don't recall as to what day he specifically stopped to selling the drugs, but I know that he stopped because I said to him, must stop selling drugs.
Do you recall the year?
Kan jy die jaar kan nou?
Daar was 2022, 2023 geweest, my lord.
2022, 2023, my lord.
Thank you.
Thank you, my lord. So you're saying to us that you told Ayanda to stop selling the drugs from home.
He said, if I am gesê moet opbou wil ons van homself te verkoop.
That's correct, my lord.
Right?
What I find strange, and I'm not saying you're lying, I'm not saying that you're not truthful, I'm just want you to explain, is your evidence led that when you came here to Saldanha and when you got involved with Ayanda, or it is because or during the time or before when you came to Saldanha, you started using drugs.
But ek snaaks van dit sê nie praat die waarheid of nie, maar wat vreemd is dat in Saldanha aankom ons getuienis het jy begin dwelms gebruik.
That's correct, my lord.
So all I want you to maybe just shed some light on is you had become a drug user.
Hy het dwelmsbreker geword.
Why did you ask him to stop selling drugs from his house?
Hoekom het hy hom gevra om dwelms van sy te verkoop?
Want Ayanda is 'n drinker en soos die geld soos ons so kopie drugs, het Ayanda meeste van die geld uitgedrink, gevat en uitgedrink.
Ayanda was a person who was drinking, and as we will be selling drugs, he will take the money and bring that money out.
That's hoekom ek vir hom gesê het hy moet maar los die drugs verkoop.
That's when I suggested to him, you have to stop selling the drugs.
But that, forgive me, but that doesn't make sense to me. If he sells drugs and he gets money and he uses it to buy liquor, if he gets money from the car wash, wouldn't he then also buy with that money liquor?
Dit maak nie sin vir my nie, want hy sal geld kry van die dwelm smokkelary, dan gaan hy dat gebruik om drank te koop. En die car wash het hy nie drank gekoop met die geld wat hy daar gemaak het.
Hy het van kawas geld het die drank gekoop, maar dit depend of kawas elke dag werk, is depend of kawas elke dag iets inbring.
He was using the money at car wash to buy liquor, but it depends, as what it says, if car wash will make money every day, will they money from car wash every day?
But if he doesn't get money from the car wash every day, and he doesn't get money from selling drugs, you've got no money.
Als hij bijvoorbeeld de geld gemaakt heeft bij de kawas elke dag en opbouwt aan draagverkoop, welmsverkoop, dan heeft jullie de geld.
Soos ek verstaan, soos ek het saam met hom gebly.
Kawas residing, staying with him.
Kawas is hy elke dag besig nie.
Kawas is not busy every day.
So if the car wash is not busy, and he wasn't selling drugs anymore, where did he get money from?
Als de kawas niet elke dag bezig was, hij opbouwt welmsverkoop, baso hier het geld van aan krijgt.
Dan het hy sy scripts bymekaar gemaak en sy scripts ingegee en dan het hy geld gekry.
Kan je weer alle iets zien, wat?
Sy scripts, het is scriptjaar ook.
He had a scrapyard, my lord. He would collect scraps together and sell it.
So he would collect scrap metal and then go and sell it, and that's where he got money from.
Hij zal die scrap in elkaar maken, dan gaat hij het verkopen. Dus vandaar hij de geld zo krijgt.
Dis correct, my lord.
Confirms?
Your evidence also led that accused one used to go and help Ayanda at the car wash.
Was het getuigenis wat toen je gezegd hebt dat beschuldigd nummer 1 zo Ayanda geholpen bij die kawas?
Dis correct, my lord.
And you said it was only 1 or 2 days.
Hier is gezegd dat het tussen 1 of 2 dagen.
That's correct, my lord.
I assume that was in a week or in a month. How, you said only 1 or 2 to help.
Aanneem dat het gedurende de week is, maar ik gezegd dat het een dag of 2.
That's correct, my lord, in 'n week.
During the week, my lord.
So is that 1 or 2 days per week?
As een dag, 2 dae in 'n week, my lord.
It's 1 or 2 days in a week, my lord.
Do you have any idea how much he paid accused one, Mr. Apollos?
Het die enige idee hoeveel zo heeft van de Apollos betaald? Schuldig nummer 1.
Ek kan nie presies sê hoeveel hy verdien nie by 1 of 2 dae nie, want dit depend hoeveel karre hy per dag werk. Of hulle 2 saamwerk of hulle 1 saamwerk.
I won't be able to give you an exact amount you would get. It depends from how many cars you would be working on the day.
En as hulle 2
Probably 1 or 12 or 2 cars.
en as hulle 2 man werk, dan word die geld gedeel tussen hy 2 persone.
When the 2 men working, the money will be shared up between these 2 people.
Am I understand you correctly now that if the 1 or 2 days that Mr. Apollo would go there and help, would Ayanda share the money with Mr. Apollo?
Verstaan ik in mooi, maar je zou zeggen, als je naar de Apollos bijvoorbeeld, ja, dat zou gaan naar de kawas, dan zou je de geld deel.
Ayanda sal vir hom die sy geld vir hom gee.
Ayanda would give him his money.
Now, your evidence also led that your drug use, you use drugs. So I want to just ask you,
Hier gaat het dus ook geweest dat hij wel eens gebruikt.
That's correct, my lord.
is it possible for you to say how many times a day, and if it was every day, how many times, how regularly you used drugs? And when I say drugs, you smoked mandrax, you said, and you said you did tik.
Is het moeilijk om voor te zeggen hoeveel keer hij zou hier wel eens gebruikt per dag? Als ik kan zeggen, dan moet men maar iets wordt opgezet. Je gebruikt Mendrix en tik.
That's correct, my lord. Soos ek drugs rook,
En hij was smoking drugs.
rook ek 2-3 keer 'n dag drugs.
2-3 times a day are smoking drugs.
and your evidence was then that how you met Apollo, Mr. Apollos and Ms. Smith, Kelly Smith.
Hier secretaris was geprobeerd hier toe kom meneer Apollos en Kelly Smith te ontmoet.
That's correct, my lord.
Confirms, my lord?
Now, in your evidence, when you were asked by the state how regularly, or no, my learned colleague for the state asked you the drugs used, did this happen regularly, and you said yes. Now you said to me, you said to the court that you used it about 2 to 3 times a day.
Vooral was ik net aan gevraagd door de staatsprocureur of u gereeld Willemse gebruikt. En mij vraagt of u nog eens zei, ik gebruik jullie Willemse 2 keer tot 3 keer per dag.
Ik rook drugs. Ik rook 2 keer, 3 keer drugs als Ayanda voor mij geld geeft.
I'll smoke 2 to 3 times when Ayanda gives me money, if Ayanda gives me money.
Dan rook ik een night als Ayanda voor mij geld en ik vraag voor hem.
I would smoke in that period when Ayanda gives me money
And
I ask him.
En daarna rook ik 2, 3 dagen maar gereeld, rook ik een week ook drugs.
Then I would smoke 2 to 3 times a day, but now and then it will be within a week smoking drugs.
But what I'm getting to is when you were asked how regularly by the state, then your answer or your evidence said that they also came to my house, and you were referring to Kelly and Ms. Smith and Mr. Apollo. Your evidence, if I understood you correctly, you said they also came to your house to smoke drugs.
En die was een vrouw gereeld. Die heeft toen gezegd dat meneer Apollos, stel nummer 1, en meneer Smith, stel nummer 3, naar die is gekomen.
Kan u roep mij weer?
Can you repeat that again?
He asked you to repeat the question. I'm just checking.
Yes. My lord, if I may,
I'm checking the evidence. Yeah.
the notes that I made was that how regularly would you go there to smoke there? In other words, at Kelly and Butta's house? The answer was, and would they also come to you? The answer was, Ayanda was very strict. We were not allowed to smoke at my house. But if I have my own tik, then I will smoke at my house. He knows that I smoke.
Yes, Mr. Harmse, my note says the following.
Yes.
She said, we never smoked at my house. Ayanda was very strict. If I had my own tik and lolly, I would smoke inside the house.
My lord, my note says they also came to my house and Ayanda was very strict.
No. In fact, I made a specific note of it.
I've also written that down, my lord.
That reads, we never smoke at my house.
I'll have to check the record then, my lord, because I wrote down here they also came to my house.
If
But I
you
understand.
doubt what my notes,
I'll have a look.
how I recorded my notes, feel free.
Yes.
You get the daily recordings to check.
Yes.
And if I'm wrong, you can show me on the record. But that's my note. And coincidentally, the prosecutor has a similar note. So both of us would have heard wrong. But we're only human.
Yes.
And I'm the first one to
Yes.
admit that I can make mistakes
Certainly not.
in how I note things down. But you would have seen that I immediately went back to my notes when you said it. Because that's also how I recalled it independently from my notes.
Yeah.
That
Thank you, my lord. Yes.
Together they would not smoke at her house. She would smoke at her house, and mostly at the times when Ayanda would actually give her because he knew she smoked there. So she would go to their places.
Now, Her evidence was if she had her own lolly.
If she had her own lolly. She had her own lolly and her own tik.
Then she would go and smoke at Mr. Pollis and Smith's house.
Do you want me to go back there now? Right? It was paragraph 13.
Sorry. Sorry, my lord, yes, I'm mistaken. I see my note says, if I had my own lolly, I would smoke there at the house, and I assumed that was a Yanda's house.
I read it to you earlier. This paragraph 13 of the evidence, where she said, if I had my own tik and lolly, I would smoke inside my house.
Yes, yeah, I've got something similar to that. Thank you, my lord.
But if you've got some homework, you can go and listen to the recordings. And then you can tell me in the morning.
Sorry, my lord, your lordship saying?
You can do your homework tonight and go listen to the recordings. And you can tell me if my notes are wrong. Yes, thank you.
Thank you, my lord.
Mr. Harmsen, it's 1:45.
Yes, my lord. Maybe it's an opportune time to break. I'm going to start with
No, I can see that you've thrown a bit now, right? Because you were planning in a particular way. Why don't we take the lunch and adjournment now at 1:45? We start at 1:45. Also give us a longer session in the afternoon to 3 o'clock.
Yes.
And then I will attempt to also watch the video. I'm not going to go to the contents of the confession for now. I'm going to try and fast forward to the places where I can see on my exhibit I need to look at. But the whole introduction I'll have a look at. Otherwise, it might take longer than an hour. No, I'm talking about the confession.
Yes, I'm talking about the confession as well.
Because they started at, seems to me they started at 16:15, and the battery ran out at 17:40. So that would have given you, the first part would have been an hour and 25 minutes. And thereafter, it ran again from 1800 hours. Yeah, so it's at least 2 to 2.5 hours. Thank you. We'll resume at 1:45.
Thank you, my lord.
13:45. Court adjourned.